you doing, guys? Today we're going to continue working on the hood, my senior hood that is, and I have been picking at this thing for a while because were a number of issues. Taking a quick look at the inside here, you can see some of the patches that I put in. There was a crack here, there's a crack there. That's where the big hole for the spark plug was. There's a couple drill holes right here that I had to fill in. I did, on the inside, re-resin this opening where the air box goes, or the air intake is. So that way it's all strengthened up, as well as, well, I haven't yet, but on the top side I have, but on this side, I'll go ahead and re-resin this eventually to strengthen this all up and get rid of any of the delamination that may have happened. Today we're going to start the work here to fix where somebody had put a set of headlights on this tractor, which I don't understand why, but they did. There's a crack. Yeah, there it is. You can see right through it. There's a stress crack that starts from here, goes all the way down here along the corner. Obviously there's a crack and a blowout, so we'll have to fix that real quick. On the other side, luckily there isn't a huge stress crack, but the hole has to be filled in. Both sides right here and here are completely butchered, so we're going to have to fix all this somehow, some way. This line has to kind of come across. We're going to have to fix the bottom of that, and then we'll have to make this about even on both sides. But I think the first thing I'm going to do is something fairly simple. There's like a whole bunch of delamination of the pieces here, so I need to strengthen that up. And I'm going to do this about the same process as I did with the intake area. I'm going to go ahead, flow some resin down in between all these pieces, get a clamp it together, so that way we can make that solid. So step one for today has been complete. The resin was oozing out from everywhere, so I know I got a good amount soaked down in there. I let it settle in, and then I clamped it. And as I'm clamping it, it's just oozing out from all areas. It was even I don't know if I can show you, probably not. It was actually even oozing out of the old mat. Actually, you can see it's soaked all the way down to here. So gotta let that harden up, and then we can move on to the next piece, which actually I'm gonna probably fix this crack and start to fill that hole. So with the epoxy cured and all the delamination basically gone, obviously it's a bumpy, lumpy mess, but we'll deal with that at a later time. Next is to start filling in this hole and the crack that's right here. And basically there's a crack that starts from about here and goes to about there, but that's really on this side and a little bit through where the hole is. Sorry about that. So initially, what I'm going to do is I've already cut some mat, 2 pieces of mat right there. I'm going to go ahead and resin this up real well, get those 2 pieces of mat in, get those secure, and then we'll flip it over and take a look at the front side. Whoopsies. With both of the holes filled and sanded, it looks really good. I'm real happy with it, both sides. It looks real good, nice and strong. Next, I was going to do around the steering shaft, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to do the fixing of the towers. That's what I call them. This thing right here comes down. The original, as you can see, is nice and rounded here, and then there's a beveled edge that was supposed to go straight across. And this thing is completely hogged out. So this edge is really supposed to be down here. So I'm going to go ahead and get my copper out again, which is over there on top of the table. And I'm going to make some forms. I'm going to make a form so I can make this edge again, and then obviously extend the side down. So let me get that kind of made and clamped into place, and then we'll take a look at what we got from there. With the corner roughed in, and I mean rough, what I could do now is I could start to drop some lines across here and here and cut the excess away. But at least it gives me some sort of foundation to work with. One thing that's kind of nice about this corner is the actual outside corner here is still original. There's a little blob, you can't really see it maybe on the camera, but there's a blob of fiberglass that comes out here, and it's just nice and smooth. The corner saved, so that's where I'm going to kind of just continue the angle of the fiberglass. On the other side, I'm not so lucky. This side was really butchered, as you can see, and the corner was so broken that this is completely lost. There's like a little, like I said, there's a little bulge of fiberglass. That little bulge of fiberglass is still here. It's still alive and well, and that's going to be the basis for this angle here to be recreated here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up doing a basic layout and very rough shaping. That way I could just maybe draw a line across to this side to figure out how much fiberglass is going to be needed. But in general, I want to get this corner really roughed in and close and then tackle that. So let's get to cutting. So after a bunch of sanding and a little bit of fiberglass mat here and there and some resin, I was able to get the lower left hand, well, I'm looking at it, so it's the left hand side, that side. I got that side pretty much all dialed in to where I want it. Obviously, I started off with it looking like that. Basically, both sides of the hood looked exactly the same, as you probably recall, and I was able to get it to this point, which I'm real happy with. I mean, it looks really, really good. I did sand it a bunch here and there, but as you can see, it's straight. Even though you have this little like whoop-de-doo, that's just in the resin, the color, but the actual corner, if I take a side shot, you can see that corner is pretty much dead nut straight. I didn't fix this. I left that alone. Whoops. I left that alone because that's part of the character. That's the original way the fiberglass was. So I'm not going to fill it in. I'm just going to leave it. Obviously, this piece here is missing. Well, it was also missing right there. So that's all recreated. This is in real nice shape. Now, to fit it on the frame, I will have to make some cuts. Now, this corner lines up with the corner of the frame, and so eventually, and I'll show you in another video, I will have to cut up here, and then just below the bend here, I'll cut across, and then make a straight across cut there. And that's right where the hood will sit on the frame, or hover just above the frame, because it actually is held in place by the 4 bolts that hold the grass screen in place. I'm not going to do this until I have this side completely done and I can put it on the tractor frame and make those cuts and file fit it to the frame essentially. One thing that's kind of interesting, if you take a look at, now this is the factory thickness from here to here, okay, but on this side it's much more shallow. This is a much more shallow distance. The other thing that's kind of interesting, this is thinner than this side. Now I don't know if you can notice it on the camera because of the muraled paint and where I've sanded it, but you know, there's even slight differences between the two sides. Eventually I'm going to have to build up this corner, and then obviously I'll build this all back up and I'll recreate this curve just as I did on this side, okay, and we'll have both sides looking real nice and clean, but that's going to be for another video. All right guys, thank you so much for your interest. Thank you for your viewership. As always, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you like these kinds of projects. Hopefully you're going to want to see this senior come back to life over the course of time. I'm working like crazy on the hood just because the weather is so hot, it kicks the resin super fast. So it makes my life real easy. I just mix it up, put it together, and then within like 5-10 minutes, it's ready to be sanded. So as always, again, guys, thank you very much for your support. And as always, You have a nice day.